I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, 6 o'clock. So if we could do a roll call, please.
Mr. Katra?
Here.
Mr. Markovitz?
Here.
Mr. Petty?
Here.
Mr. Sharma?
Here.
Mrs. Wales?
Here.
Okay. So now I guess we have a new member on our board tonight and needs to be sworn in. So you need to go stand up over there for the...
You come down front.
Yeah, just
Come down front.
Hi, how are you? I'm going to read this to you and go ahead and say it. I
Robert Petty,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
of America,
of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the State of Ohio,
of Ohio,
the Charter, ordinances,
the
Charter.
Charter, ordinances,
and resolutions
and resolutions
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
of the City of Twinsburg, Ohio,
and will faithfully,
and will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of the Architectural Review Board
as a member of the Architectural Review Board
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
as I shall answer to God.
as I shall answer to God.
Okay, I just need you to sign your name here and here. And you take one. Put it on your wall or whatever. Okay, thank you.
All right. So now we're coming to the next part of our meeting, which is public participation. Excuse me. If we have anybody here that wants to talk to the board, to address us with any issues not related to any cases we have on the agenda tonight, please come forward. Okay, looks like we don't have any of that. So now on to our first case. Case 24-11-57. It's at 2385 Edison Boulevard, and it's for the leading signage. If y'all could come up and tell us your name and then, give us a quick rundown of what you're doing.
So my name is Justin Dotson with Signs 330. We're just simply replacing Leading Cabinet's sign out front of, their warehouse, their factory. I've talked about, Jason, I believe, mentioned square footage, so we adjusted that down to 40. And the other thing brought up in the back and forth was keeping it 10 feet off the right-of-way, and so we plan to do that as well. I think, looking at the GIS, I think we're around 10 or 12 off the right-of-way. So basically the same footprint that's there.
Okay.
And then on the picture, all that landscaping has actually been already torn out, and they're going to re-landscape around the new sign.
Okay.
All right. So basically, the sign proportions are close to the same, actually, it's just shorter. You went from 6 feet down to just under 5, it looks like, okay, to get within the 40. Are there any, I guess y'all aren't planning on illuminating the sign at any time?
The sign itself isn't. They might put landscape lighting around it. I think that is their plan, but
Okay,
not on our end.
all right. Well, that's, a separate permit for the lighting and everything for that,
Possibly, yes.
if that comes up, okay. All right. Anybody got any questions?
Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
I
sign
Since
ready
the
for motion?
update the light sign is not in the right of way, so that should not require any variance, correct?
Well, the variance before was for the size of the sign. They were requesting a 48 square foot, and you can only have a 40 square foot, so they revised it to 40 square feet. No matter what, it still has to be 10 feet from the public right-of-way.
Okay.
I'll make a
You
motion
said it
to,
is 10 feet away from public right of way,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, my question is, will you guys mark that? Do I just need to, because it's kind of in the middle of their yard. And so,
If you contact the engineering department, they may have exactly like where the location, where they determine where the public right-of-way is
Okay.
there.
perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, that's not part of what we do. We just
Yeah, sure. So engineering,
let you know
Yep.
that the restrictions are there.
got it.
Okay, so.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that we accept this as presented.
I'll second.
Okay.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes?
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on to the next case, 24-11-58. It's at 2644 East Aurora Road, and it's a Bright Path signage. So if you could come up, give us your name and walk us through the project, so.
I'm Jim Briolo with North Coast Sign and Lighting, 310 North Broadway Street, Medina. And we're proposing to install a individual channel letter set with a logo on the tower on the end of the building in the north elevation. And these will, the logo and the letters will be LED illuminated.
Okay. And that's the only location of any, signage on the building other than the vinyl letters and stuff we're putting on doors, that y'all want to put on doors?
Yes, there's going to be some vinyl letters on the window, on the door, the glass door entrance.
Yeah. Okay. And all of that is within the ordinance for maximum square footage
Yes,
per window
yes.
and in the area. Okay. Anybody have any questions, thoughts?
Seems pretty straightforward, to be honest with you.
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve as submitted.
I second that.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes?
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next case is 24-11-59. It's at 8901 Darrow Road, and it's Fifth Third signage. So you come up, state your name, and
Good evening, John Bennett, Brilliant Electric Sign Company, representing Fifth Third Bank.
one of the first things we need to go through is that they're, to have the signs installed on three sides, like you're showing, that there is a variance request for this sign placement. And going by there, looking at it, I noticed there's three signs already there.
Correct.
I don't know if the signs you're putting up are bigger, but if you could kind of walk us through that.
Okay, yeah, and in fact, they actually are ultimately less square footage because the new design elements, if you look at the logos that are going on the north and south elevations, the existing ones have what they refer to as wings. So you have the sign cabinet, and then there's these winged out elements that project outside. And I actually we did an analysis, and we didn't originally do the signage, so we didn't have like any paperwork on permitting or any variances that were maybe issued in, the prior. But what we found was that the square footage is actually, on what we're doing, well, originally it was like 49, almost 50 square feet. And what we're proposing is actually around 35 to 36 square feet, actually 35.84, when you eliminate those wings.
Yeah, okay. So less square footage. Now it is, I think what the ordinance actually is stating, just so everybody's aware that you only need sign, you're on a corner, so signage is really only allowed on the corners, on the two streets.
Yeah, I think, one of the challenges or concerns, I would say, is that it's the way that area is. I do have it's not the best photo in the world. I don't know if I can present this, but there's like a Dairy Queen next door to the branch, and they have their parking lot, and the way it shows, it's just, it's really important for Fifth Third to maintain that visibility from that direction. And, in talking with the account team, I mean, they're going to keep the existing sign if we're not able to do to install the new one. They'll just, fix, do a refurbishment, and that wouldn't really require any type of variance in that respect. So I know they're going to either replace it with what we're proposing this evening, or it's just going to stay as it is, but they'll probably get rid of the wings.
That would be just
fix
on
the
that
building.
end, just on the
Correct.
south end.
Yeah, I mean, the goal, though, is to update for their current branding. It's really important to them. And just judging by the area, and, you think about a bank branch, I mean, it's really important that it's visible for potentially, obviously, law enforcement, emergency personnel, and obviously, too, just for confusion, so people make sure they know they see the branch well coming from that direction.
Yeah, one thing I'd noticed driving by there, when you're coming north on Darrell Road and you're looking at that face, there's actually a tree there.
Right.
In the summertime, it blocks the signage anyway to some degree. In the wintertime, you can kind of see through it.
I don't know how old my photo is.
I mean, at a point, there's a certain range, you finally get, past the tree or you're beyond it, further down. But as you go, if you get further, south on Darrell Road, looking back, you kind of lose it anyway, and all the other lights and stuff going on, especially at night.
They're pretty adamant. They feel they really want to
Yeah,
maintain that presence. That's important to the,
but we can't, the way I see it, I don't think we can, I mean, if we didn't approve the variance, you're going to leave the old sign up there, and we can't make them take that down in any way, I don't think. So I would not like to see mismatched signs personally. But, so the first thing we need to do is, Pat, we got to vote on the variance, right?
Correct.
Make a motion for that and vote on that, and then we can go to the signage afterwards, because if the variance doesn't get approved, then the signage, won't get approved, so.
well, I guess if it doesn't, I mean, they can approve the other two, but whenever.
If we were to go with a variance and approve it, since you're removing and scrapping the existing neon signs and letters, are you repairing any masonry behind it?
Absolutely.
And the vinyl, whatever's behind it, all being repaired?
Definitely. That's very important.
Can't we just take this as, just as submitted, take it as a one big go?
I mean, just vote on it once?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know
we're
if we
voting
can-
on a variance too, so that's two things,
Yeah.
I think.
We can do it real quick, though. I mean, do the two
If we
votes.
don't do anything, it just stays there, right? There's 3 signs now.
I mean, I
Three
guess it's
stays there.
either way, if we take it as a one big go, variance and sign is approved, either we say variance no, the sign is a no anyways.
Yeah.
Whatever your call.
Okay. So, anybody want a motion? Big one?
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted. May I have a second?
I second that.
Okay.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes,
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Was that for the variance or? the
that's
sub-
for the variance, yeah. And then, now we need a motion on the floor for the signage.
I
think
think I
that's-
made a motion to approve as submitted. So that was for variance and the sign as is.
So you made it one motion, I heard the
One
sign.
motion for both.
You can make
Okay.
another one.
If we can get away with that.
Well, he is saying it as submitted. They're submitting it with a variance, asking for a variance, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, typically, I thought
We
in
can
the
take that
past,
little
we
vote.
always,
We can, yeah, we can.
I'll make a motion to approve the sign as submitted. May I have a second?
I'll second that.
okay.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes,
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
okay.
Just in case you don't have to come back.
All right.
Thank you very much, appreciate your time.
Variance
I'll do
and
it. Thank you.
signage. Okay. All right, just for, in the future, I mean, I know in the past, we've always had to run a motion for the variance and then a motion for the whatever.
sign, the
you know, the work
submission.
they want to do. I don't know if we don't have to, if we can do a variance and
And then
the work all in one motion, then, you know, we can start doing that, but.
Yeah, we'll check
just
on
for
that.
the
We'll check
record.
on that, but just for now, we'll just do what we just did here, just to cover both ways.
Yeah, okay. Okay, next case is 24-11-60. It's at 1613 Ridgewood Court, and it's a residential addition. So if you could come give us your name and walk us through the project.
Hi, my name is Neil Safran. I'm the architect. My clients are also here. This is a simple building addition to their home. The needs of a growing family, and these are small houses, so this is a 20 by 26 foot great room addition with a laundry room and a rest room. And the plans are pretty self-explanatory. If you refer to sheet 8. Am I making that happen? Okay, I didn't know I was moving, but anyway, if you look on sheet A2, you can see the elevations. All the roofing and siding colors and materials are to match the existing house. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them for you.
Okay. One of the questions I had was, you know, I understand it's a laundry room and a bathroom, but why are you going with glass block instead of matching the other windows through the house? Because there'll be a mismatch to the rest of the house doing that. I'm just curious what the reason for that was or why.
That was actually our front.
Hmm?
It was actually privacy, because our neighbor was right.
Do you mind speaking into the microphone? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Denise Basso. It was our preference because it was a little bit more privacy, because our neighbors are right next door. So,
But still allow some natural light in.
yeah.
Okay.
Would it be better to have, just a question, frosted glass for privacy, but then you could open and close it for ventilation? Just to get air moving through there?
I believe when we talked to our builder, he was going to put a little,
We're going to do
You're gonna do something like
ventilation in
that?
the glass block.
And the bathroom does have an exhaust fan.
Okay.
I mean, within the glass block, you're going to put some kind of operable window? Is that what,
or back.
for ventilation? Oh, a vent within, okay.
Existing house foundation. Okay, this is coming off this way.
I don't think it's, I mean, I would prefer windows to match, but I don't, on the side of the house there, it's probably not real visible from the street anyway, I wouldn't think, and I don't know if it's gonna be a big harm.
No, when I drove by, I couldn't really see anything other than the front of the house,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, it was kind of hard to really figure out the rear elevation because the elevation of it is a section through the new construction. But
The rear elevation is going to be essentially that elevation with a couple doors.
yeah, with the sliding glass doors.
Mr. Saffron, could you please speak into the microphone?
Yeah, if you look in the upper right corner of sheet A2, that, I apologize for the lack of clarity, but essentially that elevation is showing the rear door dashed in. And I felt like it was better to do a cross-section through the building there, but the gable end elevation will be all matching materials.
Yeah, for construction, usually for us, at the architectural review board, the elevations, the construction, we're concerned about just making sure that the roof and everything ties in together and materials match, colors match, stuff like that.
Well, there's enough notes on the drawings indicating that the roof and siding are to match.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but just for in the future, we'd like to see the full elevation over the section elevation, most, in
Understood.
general.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for anybody? No?
Looks good to me.
Looks good. I'll make a motion then to approve this as submitted.
I have a question, sorry.
Go ahead.
On the cover sheet you got, it says it requires a 10-foot
Mr. Petty,
setback.
do you mind speaking into the microphone?
The documentation I received mentions under the notes that it requires a 10-foot setback.
Correct.
And
For
I
the
don't-
zoning of the location of the house, they are going to be attending the Board of Zoning Appeals to get a variance to encroach closer than 10 feet.
They're getting an appeal?
Yeah, they have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals to
Okay, all right.
build the house the way they
That's
want.
not-
That's not here, no.
Okay, yep, all right.
So does
Thank you.
our
Thank you.
approval,
You can, how you vote, you can mention that that it's still pending BZA approval.
okay. I'll change my motion to pending approval.
I second that with the pending approval.
Of the setback.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Kachra?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes. Okay. Enjoy your new addition when it gets there.
That'll be nice.
No, those are good, we like you that way.
Yeah.
All right. So now on to our last case, which we may not have anybody here. Case 24-11-61 at 9044 Charles Court. It's a residential roof over existing patio. We always go through this and always question it. So we can review it and approve it without anybody here if it.
Yep.
You can review the case and make a decision without someone being here. If you, for some reason, they do not like your decision, then they would have to come back.
Yeah, okay.
But we highly recommend people have a representative. If you don't mind, I can step in the back room and try to give them a call real fast to see if they're
Okay,
close.
see if they're
Yeah.
gonna come, all right.
Is
I'm
that,
okay with it, to be honest with you, approving
It's
as it is,
real
because if you're matching
simple.
everything, I mean, I don't have a question unless,
Well, that's a roof over a patio.
yeah.
Looks like an
Yeah, I
improvement.
didn't-
Looks like it's better.
Yeah, we'll let him call and see. But, I mean, we can, well, I'll wait till Jason's back. I don't want to get into any discussion if we discuss anything without him.
At least as the chair, he can move forward. Yeah, I was kind of concerned about that, like, if people don't show up, like, do we vote, do we not vote? And like, if we're not going to vote, like, why even have a discussion, because we can just table that for next time? So it's,
My thing is like, let's say if this case was the only one and we all showed up and this person didn't show up, I don't,
That would be
I would
a-
not prove it.
Well, I mean, if you had questions and nobody's
Yeah.
here to answer it, then
yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I think I agree with you, but I say, if I don't have a question, then, I mean, why not just say yes?
I did not get an answer. So.
Okay.
I can make a motion to approve as submitted. If nobody has a question, may I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes?
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
No.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes. Okay. That being all the cases, the next thing we do is approval of minutes from,
Here are the minutes. I'm looking for my minutes.
Okay.
They got lost in the pile.
yeah, we got a copy of the minutes, so approval from October 17th. And I went through them, I didn't see any issues, so I'm good with them.
I'll second.
I'll make a motion, yeah,
Then I'll.
to approve them as submitted.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Okay, no absent members to excuse, so the only thing we do is that we welcome our new member. You go by Robert, Bob? Bob, okay. So we'll know how to address you.
Great.
Hopefully you'll get used to the meeting formats and how we do things, and, but, feel free to, anytime you have any questions,
Right.
About the projects or concerns or anything.
Thanks for
even
having me.
Questions of the
I appreciate it.
procedures, and
I appreciate being on the board.
why we act stupid sometimes,
Welcome.
That's why they put him right between the two longest serving board members here. Right between us.
Yeah. Okay, I guess if nothing else, does anybody want a motion to adjourn?
I'll move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Got me.
Mrs. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Katra?
Yes.
Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.